What up, DBs? Coach Felipe back with another video, and for this week's video, I wanted to talk about our catch man technique. Now, just like with any other man coverage, the first thing we have to do is play from our leverage, right? We got to declare our leverage, and that typically depends on where my help is, right? Whether I got a safety in the middle of the field, whether I have no safety in the middle of the field, that will give me an idea of where my leverage is going to be, right? But the only difference between catch man and all the other man concepts, off man, press man, is we are typically at 5 yards, like you see here in this goal line situation. And we're thinking, moving from a lateral standpoint, right? We are not giving any ground. We want to catch the man. So in general, catch man, we are, I would say, in a vulnerable spot as a DB, right? But all in all, the way we win our reps in catch man, first off, is with our feet. I want to get my hands on this guy, but my feet have to move first. My feet are going to take me and put me in a position where I can be ready for any type of move this receiver gives me. So feet first always, and that's true in any type of man concept really. But here, I want you to look at this goal line rep. We're going to look first off the stem. We got to read off the snap. If I'm inside leverage like this DB is here, is he stemming me inside? Is he stemming me outside? Or is he just releasing vertical, trying to eat up my cushion now? In this rep, he releases straight at me. This DB does a great job keeping his leverage, right? Nothing's attacking my leverage as a DB here. The only thing I would try to do is once he gets in my plane, right, or I call it my level, is typically what I teach my DBs. Once they get on my level, that's when I want to shoot my hand. Obviously, again, feet first and then hands. You see how there's this slight, about 1.5 yards of separation? If I know he's releasing me vertical, I want to kind of scooch in there with him to where I can, once he gets on my level, I can get my hands on. Whether it's a two-hand punch or a one-hand punch, I like teaching a 2-to-1, especially in this type of situation, because two, obviously, you get more power with two hands. And obviously, if we're in a squared position, which we are here, if I shoot 2 and then go to 1, I can continue to squeeze this route, this little expansion fade you get here in the goal line. But it's not a terrible rep. I like how he closes down that space immediately, doesn't look back until he's in phase. Great job there by this DB. And then this receiver ends up dropping it. Good ball placement, but we end up winning the rep. Receiver doesn't catch it. Biggest thing here, if he vertical releases me, I got to meet him when he gets to my level, right? Not bad with the footwork, but I would continue to keep my leverage, right? But scooch in just a little bit more so I can get my hands on this guy. Now looking at this next rep, we're going to get the same type of release. This guy's lined up about 4 yards. And sometimes you'll see DBs where they do this little foot fire technique, and it's kind of like an inch back technique, right? He gains a little bit of ground backwards, but you see here he's not giving ground, right? There's a difference between inching back ever so slightly and then a motor, right? I'm really pushing and gaining some ground to create space between me and the receiver. And catch man, I don't necessarily mind the fact that a DB might inch back, especially if this guy's pressing me vertical. Some DBs, they want to give just a little bit of that room so they can react and have space to react, right? So this isn't terrible. I don't mind this technique again, but biggest thing I like what this guy does is he tries to get his hands on as soon as he gets to his level, right? The only thing is it's kind of like a 1-2 to 1. I would try to be simultaneous with it, right? Once he's right in front of me, I can two-hand jam him. Boom, punch that shoulder like he does here. You can see that left one kind of hits first, and he kind of like almost hugs him, right? He's not directly striking that shoulder. So you want to be violent, right? Because you want to disrupt timing. That's essentially what you want to do in a catch man position. But good job. Once that receiver gets to my level, involving my hand. And from here, he's released me outside. I want to continue to stay on that hip. I want to squeeze down that hip, continue to keep that space between me and him close. Then once he does this, boom, I'm in a position where I can undercut it, put my hand in there, rip it out. He ends up dropping this football. So again, not a terrible rep. I don't mind this inch back, especially if he's pressing his vertical and he's at 4 yards. Even at 5, if you want to inch back, but you don't want to give more than half a yard of ground, right? And good job involving his hands. I would just focus on striking, right? Really disrupt the timing. That's what I want to do. Strike and then go make a play on the football. Now looking at the slot fade. A slot fade from a catch man technique is arguably the hardest route to cover in a catch man position. So same kind of concept here with this DB. You're going to see he kind of inches back just a little bit, right? But he doesn't gain more than a yard, right? And that's fine. This guy's pressing me vertical. He's releasing straight to me, eating up my cushion. I can give just a little bit of ground, right? I don't want to motor back. I don't want to get to that, what yard mark? The 20, right? Or the 40. That'd be the 40, my fault. I don't want to get so far back to where I'm at the 40. I still want to allow that man to eat, the receiver to eat my cushion up. But once he gets to my level, what does this DB do? Right here, you see he does a good job at punching at that shoulder, right? Attacking from leverage. And I can tell he's attacking from leverage because of where he's standing and the way he's punching the shoulder. If he was head up on this guy, he's going to punch the chest. You're going to see here, great job punching the shoulder. 2, he doesn't go 2-to-1, which I don't mind. I personally like teaching the 2-to-1, but sometimes all you need is just that little punch just to disrupt that timing, right? But from here, I love that he closes this space. Doesn't look back until he's in phase. That's the key thing in man concepts, especially catch man. I should not look back until I'm hip to hip with this receiver, or at least arm's length, right? So right here, he's basically chest to chest, takes a peek back, but does a great job at continuing to squeeze this route all the way to the sideline as much as he can, excuse me. And you're going to see this ball slightly thrown inside. But that all comes from the start. You're going to see, first off, I should have explained this at the beginning, he does a great job with his feet, right? Inching back. I think he might have gotten just a slight outside. Yeah, this receiver stems just a little bit outside. I would still give this like a vertical release. But he does a great job matching it, keeping his leverage inside. Boom. Striking at the shoulder. And then getting to this hip and squeezing. And ends up being an incomplete pass. Excuse me. So key takeaways for catch man. First things first is we got to assign our leverage, play from our leverage, whether this receiver decides to stem me inside or out or press me vertically, right? I want to play with my leverage, keep my leverage no matter the stem. And the way I do that is with my feet. My feet got to come first. And obviously, second thing is going to be striking, right? We want to strike the receiver. We want to punch the receiver because why? We want to slow down and disrupt the timing of the route and even give us a better chance to cover it, right? Because if I don't get my hands on the receiver and he's running full speed and I'm in a dead stop because I'm in a catch man technique, I'm probably gonna get run by, right? I'm at a disadvantage in a catch man position, so we have to get our hands on. But we only do that once he's broken my level, and we have to attack from leverage. And then from there, it's just about being a ball player, man. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment if you want to see something specifically for next week or upcoming videos. But other than that, keep up with the page. But as always, y'all stay blessed and y'all keep grinding.